Hey there, Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy to see how we can best use it, utilize it, use it, whatever, to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. So today we're going to cover that eclipse that is happening Monday morning. So by the time you see this, it's probably already happened. It's at 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And it is a powerful one. It is, full moons are about releasing and letting go. And an eclipse is about releasing and letting go. So it is the big release and let go that is on steroids. I mean, come on. And then on top of all that, it's happening in your 8th house of transformation. So this is a tremendously large, big deal for your sign. So we'll get into that in just a second. Then we'll go through the Moon Astrology for the remainder of the week, the 30th through December 6th. And the reason I like to cover the Moon Astrology is because the moon reflects how we feel. And interesting. 2 cards were not caught up in the thing, but they want to be seen. We'll see what's going on here. Okay, I see why they were left behind. All right. Yes. Okay. So it's a great big letting go. It is a great big letting go of what doesn't work for you. We're covering the Moon Astrology because the moon is how you feel and it's how you're going to experience all this energy. But before I go any further and before I forget, I am going to be doing a what I'm going to call the Moon Day Night Live. It's going to start December 1st. So that would be today as these videos come out at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4:30 Pacific Time. We are going to go live. I'll pull cards for your, all the signs. It'll be in random order, and then I will take questions. It will be an hour and a half at 9:00 p.m. here. I will cut it off because I'm a pumpkin and then I need to go to bed. So just how it goes. All right, so that's the thing. I really enjoyed connecting with people the last couple of weeks, pulling cards. And actually, I have a couple of Scorpios that left me messages last week, so I will be pulling cards for you at the end of this. Okay, so the 2 cards that were left behind were these: the 8 of Cups, the walking away from the fighting, from the arguing, from the competition, from the what's not working for you energy. So basically what left behind was eclipse energy, right? I'm eclipsing out that which doesn't work, these obstacles, these irritants, these things that are not working for me. So we go from the 5 of Wands to the 2 of Wands, but if you notice, she only has 1 in her hand. And I feel like you narrowed it down to 2 choices from the 5, and I think that it won't take you long to figure out which of those 2 is the one. And she is looking at the sunrise coming up, and she's ready to go. How do I know that? Because we have the Knight of Swords, and this Knight of Swords, he is running for his bike. He is armed and dangerous, but look, Spirit is leading the way. I think you know exactly what you're going to do soon if you haven't figured it out yet. So I think that this is the releasing of at least 3 of those wands. And I think by the time we get to that new moon in Sagittarius, you're going to be on the motorcycle and you know which way you're headed. I mean, that is some kind of speed there. He is just chugging along. So he, she, it's hard to tell. Seeing him from behind. Those look like guys' legs though, I have to say. Okay, so all right, let's get into it. So this full moon eclipse is having an 8 degrees. So if you have any any important aspects in your chart around 8 degrees, this is a huge event for you. So anywhere between maybe 2 degrees and 14 degrees will be impacted, but the closer you are to that 8-degree marker, the more you'll be recognizing this. So a new start is coming, and balancing spirituality and practicality. Oh gosh, when you're on a motorcycle, you have to be very balanced. Okay, so I don't ride a motorcycle. Lots of reasons for that. But the people I know that do ride motorcycles, I've had it described as a spiritual experience. There is freedom. They're like, it's not about the destination, it's about the ride, man. Now, I know everybody that rides a motorcycle doesn't talk like that, but that was how it was said to me. Okay, so it's about the journey and not the destination. There is a need to be in balance, right? If you're not in balance, you get road rash big time, or worse. And there's a practical nature in riding a motorcycle, right? I mean, it takes less fuel. It is easier to maneuver, easier to find parking. But there's the freedom of it, right? There's the freedom. Two of Wands is about balance. And she's definitely looking ahead to the future with one. She's chosen one. And the globe there at her feet, that's about, the ending of a situation. She's planning a journey, though, also, because I've never noticed this before. The globe is sitting on top of a map of a VW van, so it looks with a surfboard leaning against it. It's about riding the waves and freedom, right? It's freedom. This release is a big freedom for you. A new start is coming, but you're going to need to balance your practicality and your spirituality to get where it is that you want to go. Don't forget to dream for the future, though. Dreaming about what it is you want and creating a plan is a lot of emphasis this week. A lot of emphasis. On Tuesday, Mercury is going to move into Sagittarius. So for you, Scorpio, especially if you're Scorpio rising, that's in your second house of what you value, self-worth, self-esteem. Mercury is going to want to communicate about that. At the same time that Mercury in Sagittarius is going to be in a trine, which is a very supportive energy with Chiron at 5 degrees of Aries. So this is all this energy right around the same point where we had that eclipse. And Chiron is the wounds, and we're here to heal. And so that willingness to communicate the ouch to other people, to yourself. Hot on the tails of that is the moon moving into a fellow water sign, Cancer, and that's your 9th house of communication. But that communication is with spirit, and so that balancing of the practicality and the spirituality. And so there's this need to be willing to recognize what hurts, being willing to communicate it, and yet having a practical plan. It's not about wallowing in the pain. It's about, okay, I've identified this hurts and I don't like it, so what am I going to do? How do I fix this? What do I do to move myself forward to have this new start? This new start that's coming with the new moon in 2 weeks. How do I get there? Looks like you're getting there with some speed by following spirit after having made a decision. There's a decision. There's still a decision point here. So moon moves into Cancer at 10:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States on Tuesday. So that's Wednesday and Thursday energy is that moon in Cancer. And that moon in Cancer is very emotional. It's very supportive of emotions. It's very supportive of these conversations. And it's going to come into trine, which is, again, that supportive aspect. But this time with Venus and Scorpio. And so Venus and Scorpio is going a little deeper about what our values are. going a little deeper? Is it love, money? Those are the things that, but Scorpio's about going deeper and getting to the root of it, and looking at it from the underbelly side, like looking up at it and going, okay, but this is the root of why I feel like this, right? In order to create that transformation, and then having those conversations with your higher self. Some of these are going to involve making some changes, maybe around areas in your life. This is really hard to say because it's in your 8th house of transformation. But this is going to somehow involve some of this energy of maybe you need more education on something. Maybe you need to master a skill in a career sector. Maybe you need to actually physically move to some place. There's a shifting and a changing around an area that creates competition, right? It's walking away from the competitive energies of the 5 of Wands. And so this feels like extended family. It feels like work. It feels like if you're vying for a position in a program, and they only accept like 6 people and there's like 3,000 that apply, that's competition. And this is emotionally walking away from the battle. Not necessarily the victory, but when everybody's fighting, is anybody really winning? I love that you got this card. You have safe and surrounded. We have the dolphins, and dolphins are always about finding that inner joy, that inner happiness from within. And when you are safe and surrounded by love, that is a reminder that you are a child of the divine. You are a spark of the divine. The divine resides within you and you within the divine, right? And so you are safe and you are surrounded and you are protected by this love of the divine. It says, keep your heart open and know that you are being protected. Listen to what you know to be true, and allow yourself to see and understand what is going on around you. And this is listening through the heart space. With Venus in your sign, it's definitely about listening through the heart space to what you really value, how you really value and feel about these things. She's getting ready to move into Sagittarius. Don't think she does it this week. She does it soon. But right now, she's still there in those she's like at about 19 degrees, I think. At the end of the week, she's at like 18, 19 degrees. So it's a couple more weeks. Saturday, actually, she's going to be in trine energy with Neptune. And again, that's about communicating what you're dreaming of. What are you dreaming of? What is it that you want? Where is it that you're going to go? But while the moon is still in Capricorn, the moon, after it trines around 19 degrees or so, 18, 19, wherever she is, with Venus, then it is going to oppose the council up there in Capricorn. This is supportive energy on both sides for you. This is really good energy for you because a sextile is supportive. It's not as supportive as a trine, but it's still very supportive energy. And when the moon is opposing first Pluto that rules your sign and says, what are you transforming? And then goes on to have the conversation with Jupiter, and Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and the sun is in Sagittarius. And so there's that energy of also, it's about what you value and where you want to expand on that. And this is, what do you want to expand? How do you want to make this work? And then you get to Saturn, and Saturn is at home in Capricorn. And Saturn says, what's your plan? How do you want to take this dream, this wish, this goal, and what, yes, you're running toward your dream, but remember, it takes balance of practicality and spirituality. So what is your plan? That's the practicality, right? The spirituality is knowing where it is that you're going, having made the decision, decided that this is the thing that's going to be for you. But how? You know, this Eight of Cups is so interesting because it just shows this one cup on fire floating in the water, and she's walking into the sunrise, not into the sunset. She's walking into the sunrise. You know, the Light Seers Tarot, she has these beautiful little affirmations that she wrote for each of them, and I love this one. It says, I walk away from negativity. That's that Five of Wands energy, right? I walk away from negativity and I choose myself in a rebellious act of self-love. And that is this, a rebellious act of self-love. I choose myself, right? But you're safe and you're protected and you're surrounded by love as you do this, but you have to have a plan. And if you don't have a plan, now is the time. Now is the time to work out at least the first couple of steps, because this new start is coming. This eclipse that happens in 2 weeks it's a new moon eclipse. It's about really starting things, but again, it's about releasing. So the new start comes when you let go of something. If you're hanging on to both wands and she's not here, she set one down, so that's good. That is the release. So you're down to 2 choices now. You've figured out not all those 5 things, just 2 things. Being ready to let go of one and then to be willing to chase after, to run after your dream. The moon is going to move into Leo. And Leo is always about self-empowerment and self-confidence and stepping into your power, right? And the moon moves there at 7:53 a.m. on Friday. And for you, you know, this is in your 9th house of... It's not your 9th house. It is your 9th house. That doesn't make sense. It's your 10th house. It's your 10th house of career. So you're maybe making your big decision here about something to do with the job space, the career space. So I've had this deck for years, and today I've found now 2 cards I've never seen before. Okay, so this one I have, in the world, not of the world. This is that willingness to let stuff go. That rebelliously choosing you, not fighting with everyone, not fighting for things that don't even matter to you, choosing yourself, being in the world but not of the world. Like, this is, I'm here to learn, I'm here to grow, I'm here to my soul path, my soul destiny, which is to create where it is that I'm going. But this one is interesting. It says, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. And I'm going to have to read what it says because I'm not sure I understand. But she's standing there in this pillar of this green healing energy of the heart chakra. Relax the hold of the darkness and be at cause. And for a Scorpio, that feels very significant. It is 26, 2 plus 8. I'm sorry, 2 plus 6 is 8, and 8 is the number of self-mastery. It says, dear sacred rebel, rebelliously choosing yourself, right? Dear sacred rebel, where is that 8 of Cups card? I have so many cards already down. Sacred rebel. Dear sacred rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in a bucket load. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of the known reality into the next higher level voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. That is that Knight of Swords being followed. That is that Knight of Swords being led by spirit, right? Oh my gosh, I have chills big time. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly, Knight of Swords, and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great. It is the big cosmic yes. I'm going to keep reading because this is fascinating. To access this reality, you have to leap from the known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. The known waters. Look, she's leaping up out of the water, right? To leap from the known waters, and others may think you're crazy for doing so. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second guessing, and the belief that you have to do everything on your own. You may fear for your life. How will you be safe in the wild? Remember, you're safe and protected. The dolphins said so. How will you be safe in the wild electric pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without the hazy, sleep-inducing paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long, and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? How will you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. That's spirituality and practicality. It is the force of a startling, raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle in the right timing. You are a part of, not apart from, that process. You are a part of, but not apart from that process. The invitation to shift gears and jump on board to the express train of life, or the motorcycle, right, will feel exhilarating, perhaps also challenging. When you are in the hold of darkness, you will feel pushed to turn away, to imagine it is all too much, and to create excuses about about how your desires aren't being grounded enough. Because you're balancing on two wheels, that you're being too flighty or flaky, or that you're not living in the real world. Spirituality and practicality. This is the fear talking, not truth. It is, if the sacred rebel is not awakened, we will continue to live in a culture drenched in fear and distrust of nature. Those without awakened hearts don't yet understand that what nature knows. She knows timing. She knows life and death, and she knows the creative process. She just knows, and can be trusted to support us, her own creations, in becoming all that we can become. You are surrounded by love. You are being protected. Listen to what you know is true. You just know. Follow spirit. Take the wild ride. I want to stop there, but I won't. I'll pull the last card. That is so amazing. Scorpio, you guys have had such an interesting couple of years. I started this channel 2 years ago. Every time I do the Scorpio reading, it's been enlightening. You guys have done so much work, and now it looks like finally comes the payoff. Okay, so the moon's going to move into Virgo at 2:46 p.m. on Sunday. Virgo likes to be organized. Virgo likes to, this is about creating the plan. So let's just get a little guidance here on where you go from here. You have to release something. You have coming apart. You have coming apart, and we have movement in reverse, which means in order for you to move forward, in order for you to chase down this dream, you have to rebelliously choose yourself, choose your future. She is walking away alone. This is releasing something, an idea, a relationship, a job. Oh, gosh. You know, I went to school for a very long time. I started college, again. I started it when my daughter was in high school because I told her she had to go to college. And she said, well, you didn't go. I would have thought that should have been enough clue that you should go. But anyway, so I went back to school. And it took me 13 years to complete my degree because I was working and raising kids and I was a single parent. 13 years. I went in going, I'm going to be a nutritionist. Yeah, I'll be a dietitian. That's what I'll do. So on the way, I took a detour and got an exercise science degree. And then finally, I get my degree in nutrition and dietetics 13 years later. And I'm like, this isn't what I want. I had to walk away from this thing I had worked so hard for because I'd outgrown it. It wasn't me. It was too confining. They had all these rules and regulations, and I don't mean the hospital systems, which they should have them. I'm talking about the American Nutrition and Dietetics Association. I'm talking about every 5 years they want to know my plan. Like, that's none of your business. I wouldn't even tell my mother my plan, you know? So for me, it was too confining, and I'm like, this isn't for me. So I had to split apart from a dream, a goal I had that I had outgrown. So it could be something like that. Something that was very much a part of you for a very long time, because this transformation process that I've been watching has been over 2 years. It could be a relationship. It could be a belief system, big time belief system. Because Sagittarius South Node is about releasing ourselves from long-held beliefs of things that we just accepted as facts that maybe they're not. There is a great splitting apart from something that you have thought and held as a truth in your life that no longer serves you, and you are going to pick yourself. You are going to spiral upwards. People are going to be like, what are you doing? Where are you going out? What are you doing? Like, I can't even tell you how many people are like, wait, what? You, all that money and time and then no? No. I chose to do this, to move into the light of my soul. You're being invited into the light of your soul, whatever that means to you. In order to move forward, you're going to have to set yourself free from something. And only you know what that is. All right. So I will hopefully see you here tonight when I do the Moonday Night Lives. I'm so excited about this. So come and hang out with me. Let's get more acquainted. And then right now, though, a couple of people, Elena and Margaret, left me messages at the end of last week, and I promised that I would pull cards for you. And what a week to get cards with all this eclipse energy. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. But everybody else, if I don't see you until next week, you take care and choose you. Choose you. All right, let's start with Elena. What does Spirit want to bring forth a special message for Elena? Or Elena. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. I think it's Elena. I know two Elenas, and that's how they spell their name, but I could be wrong. It's been known to happen. Okay, so I think yours has to do with career. I think this big release, this big transition, this big letting go, this big moving forward for you. Here we have this lady in the letting go. She is being held back by these dogs that are pulling on the leash, not allowing her to move toward her door of opportunities that she wants to check out. Now this door is already closed. This one is still cracked open, and this one is wide open. And one of them, she let go of this dog back here, but there's two still, and there's a need to let go of the dogs that are barking and nipping at your heels, trying to keep you from going where you want. And then we have professional assistance. And so an action step for you may be actually seeking out somebody who can counsel you on the next steps that you need to take to get to where you want to go. So Say, for instance, you've been working corporate all your life and now you really want to, since we've been working from home anyway, and now you figured out that you can do that. Maybe you want to do your own startup, or you want to do things differently, or you want to work for another company, and maybe you need a professional headhunter to help you find the job. Maybe you need someone to help you build a website. What is the professional assistance that you want? There's a good step. So being willing to set yourself free from that which is holding you back from chasing your dream. Your dream is so important. Don't let it go. You're here to create something. Whatever it is that you're dreaming of, that's what you're here to create. And it can be anything, right? But whatever it is, you're going to need to speak to somebody. Okay, so also, if it's not career, if it's a relationship matter that you need to release and let go of, I just heard that could be a possibility. Professional assistance might be that you need to contact a lawyer. So maybe you're trying to get out of a contract or a marriage, a lease, something that is tying you down. You're going to have to pay somebody to help you get to the next step, or barter, depending on what it is. When I was going through a divorce back in, 2000, I could not afford a divorce lawyer. I was selling party light candles at the time, and I had a customer, client, whatever you want to call her, who loved the heck out of the candles. And so when I sold candles, I got credit toward free candles. And so I bartered with her. And instead of me taking that free candles and using it for a display product, I gave it to her. So in that way, I was able to give her what she really wanted, and she was a paralegal, so she helped me fill out my paperwork. I don't think a lawyer would do that, but the paralegal did that for me. So, and then I threw her a party, and I gave her all of the money I earned on it, straight up. So that was how I paid her. I paid her in candles, literally. That's how I paid for my divorce. So there's lots of ways to do that can really work for you. So, Margaret, you have a whole other story going on. Holy cow. You have great gratitude in the kindred spirit. Look at that. When you release, when you let go of what's holding you back, when you are grateful for where you are, when you start counting your blessings, that elevates your frequency. And that brings in like attracts like. And so the higher your frequency level, the higher the frequency level of the situations you're trying to attract in. Now, kindred spirit could be love. Absolutely. I mean, look at that. That looks like love. But it also could be the perfect job opportunity. It could be the perfect living situation. It could be the perfect, maybe you wrote a book and you're looking for the perfect publisher. It could be something like that, where the perfect person shows up. They're attracted by your vibrational energy. So start every day by counting your blessings. Finish your day by counting your blessings, and catch yourself counting blessings throughout the day. So, for instance, when I'm running late, which is more often than I want to admit, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to be on time. And as I'm driving, every time I hit a green light, I'm like, thank you. Instead of cursing the red ones, I celebrate the green ones. It's finding the gratitude in the now moments, the small things, when I come up to a roundabout and people actually drive through the roundabout instead of slamming on their brakes, I try hard not to be mad at the ones that slam on the brakes, and instead I really try to focus on, yes, thank you, someone in front of me knows how to drive in a roundabout, right? So it's the things. It's finding the joy in the minute. When you're walking along and it's a gray and cloudy day, but the way the light catches on to that tree looks kind of sparkly and nice, and you go, wow, that's really beautiful. So it's being present in the now moment, counting the blessings that you see along the way to raise your frequency level so that you can draw in and you can attract that kindred spirit, the one that puts you over the top into the direction that you want to go, the one that helps you chase down this dream. Looks really good. All right. I hope I see you guys on Monday, Moon Day, Night Live. And if not, I'll see you next week. You guys take good care.